What is going on, beautiful people? I hope you are having a fantastic day. Welcome back to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. As always, I'm grateful for you. I'm pumped that you're here. And the fact that you spend your time listening to me rant and rave is unbelievably amazing to me. And I couldn't be more grateful for it. Secondarily, this podcast is sponsored by a brand new product that I have just released to the market. It's called Elite Collagen. If you're not taking a collagen product, then you just don't care about your healthy skin, your healthy hair, your healthy nails, your joints, your cardiovascular health, just your overall body wellness. Collagen is an amazing product that is going to help with everything. And listen, I mean, you're exposed to a lot of elements. Why not internally fortify your system with a beautiful collagen? But here's the situation. Some of you guys are no, hey, bud, I'm already taking a collagen. Appreciate you. Got you. I got bad news. The problem is this. Most collagen powders are just that. They're powdered collagens, and they're made from bovine, which is cows, or porcine, which is pig's skin. Have you ever seen a cow's skin or a pig's skin? Some of them are plant-derived. We won't even get into those. The collagen, it's not even really a collagen product. It's a makeup of stuff that tries to become collagen. But if you're taking a collagen powder, one of those big, hefty collagen, gross, chalky, whatever it is, just know that it's coming from skin of cows and pigs. And of course, they wash them. But if you've ever been at a pig farm or a cow farm, not the most savory of things. My collagen is a marine-based collagen. And here's the big thing. Forget all the other shit I've already said. Here's the differentiation between mine and the one you're already taking. Mine is half a tablespoon every day. It's a delicious chocolate mint flavor. And here's the big stuff. Here's the real deal. Here's what nobody's telling you. The powdered collagens get broken down inside of the gastrointestinal stomach, inside of the stomach. That's not where collagen gets absorbed. Collagen actually gets absorbed and has a higher efficacious benefit if it's absorbed in the small intestine. Well, see, mine passes through the stomach based on a beautiful collection of polymers and a collection of these peptides. If you heard that, that's just Rudy taking a sneeze. He likes to be introduced in some of these podcasts, and I didn't give him a proper shout out. But my collagen actually passes through the stomach and gets digested inside of the small intestine, which is where all the magic happens. Your powdered product's not even making it there. So you're getting very minimal, if any, efficacious effects from drinking that chalky, gross tasting powder product. So if you're interested, just go to thriveforeverfit.com, go to my store. You'll see Elite Collagen on there. You can pop me a note. I'll give you all the details. It is unbelievably amazing. I've been taking it for a while because I've been testing it and creating it and everything. Guys, it is revolutionary and it is unbelievable. I can't wait for you to try it. Elite Collagen. Go grab yourself some today. Take care of your skin. All right, team, we got to have one of those chats, one of those buckle up, get yourself a beverage, get ready. Might be some things said that create some feelings, some emotions or whatnot, but just know that it's 100% necessary and know that my intention is for you to win. My intention is for you to be the best you that you can possibly be. But in order to do that, you have to start looking for a way in instead of a way out. I'm going to say that one more time. You have to start looking for a way in instead of a way out. Here's what I'm seeing. Everybody right now is looking for a way out. Everybody is looking for an excuse not to execute. Everybody is looking for an excuse not to be their best. Some people are looking for excuses not to go to work, not to show up for their family and relationships, not to put their health and fitness at the top of their priority range, not to make money so they can take care of themselves. They're looking at everything going on around them and using it as a reason that they can't win. They're using it as a reason why they can't win. And the truth is this: you can have results or you can have reasons, but you can't have both. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Your circumstances don't have to dictate your outcomes. What I mean by that is this: the economical circumstances that are around you are around all of us. The prices of things that are around you are around all of us. And yes, everybody has varying degrees of financial security and safety, but those aren't indicative of what you are capable of doing. And if you simply use the current scenario as an excuse not to win, then you're not going to win. You're going to get more of the same thing you're getting right now. And I can guarantee you, if that's not winning, it's not what you want. So remember that you can have results or you can have reasons, but you can't have both. People love to tell us the reasons why they can't, but very rarely will someone tell you the reasons why they can't. And I think of it like this. I think of the way out as that it's an open gate right now. The way out is this giant double door, big giant, you pull them open and it's huge. And like everybody's just funneling out. They're funneling out of life. They're funneling out of responsibility. They're funneling out of accountability. They're funneling out of showing up for themselves and for their family. And I think of the way in as this tiny little pinhole. It's this little teeny ray of light that you can barely see. And that's what you've got to start looking for. I've done several little videos on my social media lately about on those days that you don't want to, you have to. And I know that sounds crazy to some of you, but on those days, those are the days that you fortify your resolve. Those are the days that you build your armor so that when challenges do arise, when adversity does present itself, you've created this body and brain that is able to overcome anything. And the other day I talked about how I was sitting at my desk and I didn't want to go for my afternoon walk because it was 115 degrees outside. And my brain, your brain is a terrorist. This terrorist started telling me all the reasons I didn't have to. It started helping me out. My brain wanted to let me out of my responsibility. And what I mean by responsibility is it's what I said I was going to do. And that's another thing we've got to start doing. We have to start doing the things we say we're going to do. We can't continue to make excuses after excuses after excuses and then expect a different outcome. Because the truth is this, we are living right now based on the decisions that we made a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. You're living your reasons right now. And if you're not living in results, it's because of the excuses that you made in the past. That's what you're living in currently. And the only way to overcome that is to start keeping the promises you make. Start living up to the standards that you set for yourself. And one of my standards is I do what I say I'm going to do. And when I set my goal of I'm going to go on 2 walks a day, I'm going to go on an afternoon walk regardless of the temperature, regardless of how tired I am, regardless of how my feet hurt, my knee is swollen, it doesn't matter. But I set at my desk, and this happens to everybody. And so I'm not immune to this. Nobody's immune to these thoughts and feelings. That's what I wanted you to hear today. Nobody's immune. Every single human on the planet faces the adversity, the challenge of, I just don't feel like it. But it's on that day where you got to look for that little pinhole of light. You got to look for the way in. And I'm talking about an afternoon walk, which is minuscule, right? It's simply just putting my shoes on and going out the door. But my brain started telling me, you don't have to go today, Jay. You've already went for a walk today, Jay. You already worked out, bud. You're going to go again tomorrow. It's hot outside. You got work to do. All these things started coming into my brain, like unconsciously. I wasn't thinking these things. It was like, there's a dude in there who was just like, boom, and he was just pounding me with all of the reasons I didn't have to go. But I went because I keep my promises. And it's that simple. All I thought to myself was, all those things are true. All those things are true. I'd already worked out. I had already went for a 5-mile hike. I was going to walk again tomorrow morning with Lori. I had a boatload of work to do. It was hot as crazy. My feet hurt. My knee was swollen. Everything he said was true. But that doesn't matter, right? Because I did exactly what I just told you. I can get my results or I can have my reasons. I'm always going to pick my results. And so I got up from my desk, put my shoes on, walked out the door, and I did a little video that day on my iPhone, just like a little 60-second video. And it was about this very same thing. Within 60 seconds, I was boom. I am so glad I did this. I'm so glad I didn't listen to those voices. I'm so glad I didn't succumb to those reasons why I didn't have to go. And the lesson is this: when you go anyway, on those days that you don't want to do it, when you go anyway, you will be so proud of yourself. And that's what builds resolve and fortitude. You're building strength every time you do that. And every time you go when you don't want to go, every time you go when you're tired, you are just fortifying your standards and your habits and your rituals and who you are as a human being. People ask me all the time, how do I build self-worth? How do I get more self-esteem? It comes from the inside. It's an internal game. It's an inside job. You build self-esteem. You build self-worth. And you do that by keeping the promises that you say, keeping your promises to yourself. It's not crazy, right? It's not hard, but you're going to have to overcome those voices, because some of you guys have listened to those voices for so long that now all they say, hey, you don't have to go. You're like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to say something right now that is going to challenge some of your thinking. It's going to challenge the way that you think. It's going to challenge societal thought processes right now. But before you get mad at me, I want you to think about it and I want you to process it. Okay? I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh man, what is this dude about to rip on us? And I'm already mad. I'm already mad at Jay. Right? Some of you guys are already mad. I haven't even said it yet. I'm going to say two things so you can get a chance to be equally pissed. Number one is, I don't know any successful person that uses the phrase, I'm going to listen to my body. Because all the successful people that I know that their body, because their body doesn't talk, it's the brain, right? It's the subconscious mind. The body's just the vessel. They know it's the subconscious mind that is talking them out of their own success, right? Because that's what the brain is designed to do. And they understand that I can't, that's my emotions, right? And my emotions aren't going to get me the results that I desire. So I don't know one single successful person that uses the phrase, I'm going to listen to my body. Now listen, let's be realistic. If you've had surgery, if you ran a marathon yesterday, if you ran an ultra marathon yesterday, if you hiked Mount Everest yesterday, if you competed at the CrossFit Games yesterday, I'm trying to think of all like radical things, then you know what? Maybe you are tired. Maybe your body is fatigued, but you can always do something. See, here's what I see when people say, I'm going to listen to my body. That means to them that reverts, and this is the second thing, that flips over into the whole self-care world that we're kind of living in now, of like, we got to self-care, you got to take care of yourself, which I 100% agree with. That's massively important, 1000%. But self-care is not bubble baths and chocolate cake. Self-care is not sitting on the couch all day watching Desperate Housewives and eating chocolates. Right? That's not self-care. That's actually self-abuse. Self-care is understanding what you really need. And when you're tired and you're fatigued and you're sore, what you really need is probably to go for a walk, probably to move your body, to get some juices and some fluids going. Maybe it's to go do some cold therapy. Maybe it's to go get in a sauna. Maybe it's all of those things. Self-care is sleeping appropriately at night, every night, instead of staying up all night watching Netflix. Self-care is feeding your body beautiful foods that fuel your system and not junk food that fails your system. Self-care is moving your body on a daily basis, mobility, range of motion, all of those things, like your mindset, working on your positivity, reading motivational self-growth books and YouTube videos. That's self-care. Self-care is not cheesecake. Self-care is not sitting on the couch all day and not moving and watching reruns of Friends. So we've got to get away from those two things of like using the phrase, I'm going to listen to my body, as a reason not to move, as a reason to be sedentary. Now listen, if you're injured, I get it. That's not what I'm talking about. And I think you understand that. Let me give you one of my favorite quotes in the world. This is something that I think about all the time. So Tim Grover is an author. His latest book, highly recommended, just called Winning. Highly recommended. I have it on audio on my phone. I've probably listened to it 15 times. Tim Grover says this is a Tim Grover quote, not a Jay Nixon quote. So if you're going to be pissed, you be pissed at Tim Grover. You can be a little bit mad at me because I do love the quote and I'll take a little bit of responsibility for it. Trying is an open invitation to failure. Just another way of saying, if I fail, it's not my fault. I tried. I got to agree with Tim because I hear it all the time. And when I hear it, I've gotten so used to this. Like human psychology is my jam. And so when I hear people talk, I hear the words they say, but I hear the meaning of what they say that's even deeper than the words that they're using. And when someone says, well, I'm going to try, you know what's sad is they honestly know they're really not even going to try. They've gotten so used to trying that that's their out. They just say, well, I'll try. I can't tell you the last time I've said I'm going to try something. I don't try anything. Now, I don't win at everything either. I fail a lot. But I don't try. I go all in, right? And most people who are trying don't even go 50% in because they've already given themselves the out. They'll already come up with the reasons of why they couldn't. So here's the real message of today is this. It's time, guys. It's time for personal responsibility and accountability. No one is coming to save us. So we better get busy saving ourselves. So the time is now. The time is to step up, get personally responsible and personally accountable. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't need support, right? I'm here to support everybody and anybody that wants it. Like if you want to step into the arena with me, you're going to get more support and more accountability than you've ever had in your entire life. You could ask anybody who's in my direct circle. Like it's showtime. Like come on in. But you're going to need to be personally responsible and accountable too, because I can't want it more than you do. Nobody can want it more than you do. Right? There's nothing more frustrating than wanting to see somebody win so bad and they don't even want it. It's the most frustrating part of my job, but it's part of the gig. I take that on. I understand that that's what I signed up for. But no one can want your life to be awesome more than you want your life to be awesome. And that's going to take personal responsibility. Say those words with me: personal responsibility and personal accountability. That means you do what you say you're going to do. That means you show up in a massive way for yourself and for the people that are counting on you. We've got to start doing this as individuals and as a culture and as a society. We're blaming everything on everybody else. We're not taking any personal responsibility. I thought about this. Everybody wants to talk about what everybody else is doing wrong instead of getting their house in order first. I am only focused on my house better be lined up. My house better be in alignment. Because if my house isn't in alignment, I can't help anybody. But everybody wants to fix everybody else. Your house has to get in an order before you can do that. And that's personal responsibility and personal accountability. You've got to stop trying to fix other people. You're only doing that because it's a deference mechanism. Easier to fix them than it is to fix yourself. And when I say fix, you're not even broken. You've just been told you're broken. You've really just been told that you're broken. You're broken. You're over. If you watch the news or you listen to anybody talk to you, you're broken. You're overwhelmed. You're broke. You don't have any money, inflation, this and that. And then, listen, some of that stuff is true, but you get to make a decision on how you show up. You get to make a decision on how you show up for your own life. You have choices. And your choices will predicate your future. Your future is not, guys, you can predict your future. Listen, a crystal ball. You can predict your future based on the decisions and choices you make today. That's what personal responsibility and personal accountability is. Right? So you have to start looking for a way in. I was talking to a buddy today and I was like, everybody's looking for a way out. Like there's not even any traffic on the way in because everybody's going the other way. Have you ever been on a highway and it's like the other side of the road is like bumper to bumper for like 50 miles and your side, there's nobody? That's what it's like. It's like the side in, there's nobody there. The side out is full, bumper to bumper. You don't want to be in that line. You don't want to be in that line, guys. Like that's the line to nowhere. And you're being told that it's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Because one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, what happened? You look for a way out. You lived your reasons instead of your results. You lived all the reasons why life is hard for you. You lived all the reasons why you have to struggle. Listen, life is challenging for everybody. Everybody's got something, and nobody knows what anybody else is going through. And the message here isn't that you're not going to have things that you've got to go through, that you've got to get through, that you've got to grow through. The message is that you've got to go anyway. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. I believe you can. Listen, I firmly believe from the bottom of my heart that every single human was born for greatness. Every one of them is going to have a different path than the next person to him. Nobody's path will be the same, but everybody was born for greatness. Some people are going to have to climb a couple extra walls. Some people are going to have to dig a few extra inches, but it will be worth it. So whatever your journey looks like, know that it's worth it and know that you're capable of doing it. You wouldn't be put here if you weren't capable. You wouldn't be presented with a scenario if you weren't capable of overcoming it. And the more you overcome it, even if something is simplistic, start simple. The day I had that I didn't want to go for my afternoon walk, that the brain started telling me all the reasons I didn't have to. Simple. But if I hadn't have went, it would have made the next situation a little bit more challenging because I would have, instead of building my resolve, I would have been stacking the reasons why I didn't have to. Because truth be told, if I didn't go for that walk, would anything have changed, like physically? Would anything have really changed that day? Like, would my life have gotten horrible? No, it would have been inconsequential. I would have forgotten about it. But then if I made that same decision again and again and again and again, that's the stacking of those decisions not to go. The stacking of the decisions to look for a way out would have compounded into a situation and a problem. But the fact that I went, this was almost 2 weeks ago. I'm still talking about it today. If I wouldn't have went, I wouldn't be talking about it at all. You see the power? You see the power in stepping into doing what you say you're going to do? Guys, you're so powerful. You're such a powerful creature. You can do anything, be anything, have anything if you're willing to look for a way in. And right now I'm telling you, it's the size of a pinhole because everybody's on the way out. Look for that pinhole. Find people that are looking for that pinhole. And then go through it. Go towards it with reckless abandon. You deserve to live a life of abundance and awesomeness. Whatever that life is for you, right? But you have to understand one thing. You can have results or you can have reasons, but you cannot have both. You've got to get personally responsible and you've got to get personally accountable. And then you've got to surround yourself with people that are personally responsible and personally accountable, that are moving toward that pinhole of the way in. That's the only way you're going to win. It's the only way you're going to win. I'm on my way in, guys. If you want to come, let's go. If you want to weigh in, let's go. I'll hold your hand every step of the way. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm thankful and grateful that you listen to this podcast. You're unbelievable. You've got so much potential. You're born for greatness. There's nothing you can't do. If you need some extra love, if you need some extra support, if you need some extra accountability, join one of my 2 programs. One of them's free, Wellness Lab Launchpad. The other one's a little closer to that little pinhole of light. It's called the Thrive Forever Fit program. Just go to thriveforeverfit.com. You can find out everything you need to know. You know how to get a hold of me by now. Guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I'll be back next week with another episode. Be awesome to yourself. Be kind to each other. All right, let's keep going. Remember, look for that little pinhole. You deserve it. Hey, before you go, I'd just like to say thank you again for listening to the Thrive Forever Fit podcast and watching on YouTube. It means the absolute world to me. And if you would do me one favor, and that is simply subscribe and review this podcast on whatever platform it is that you enjoy it on, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter. I would absolutely be so grateful and so thankful if you do that for me. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you again next week with an awesome, awesome episode. Bye.